Hello everybody, this is the Shizu NATURIA deck I was talking about in one of my recent combo videos. I showcased the 2-card combo that this deck can do, and I think it is very insane and extremely competitive. A lot of people did say that they wanted me to post a deck profile showing them my list, and it is a very unique list compared to some more things that are out there. I can make an argument for this one being a little bit better than the Runic Shizu or Runic NATURIA version that tops, but that one has tops, so I don't know how watertight that argument would be. But let's go over the deck list really quick. I'll explain some things that might not make a lot of sense, and if you do want to see what this deck can do, I'll link below the combo video. And let me get into the deck profile. So we play 3 copies of Fenrir. This one's self-explanatory, but if you don't fully know what the Vernisylphs do, Fenrir, you special summon it for free, and then you can use its effect to add another copy of itself. It's an earth monster, which is very strong. That means that you can discard Fenrir off of the Vernisylph monsters and summon it from graveyard if you decide to. So, you add another monster from deck to hand to trigger your Vernisylphs. This can fully unbrick your hand if you just brick and you need to get some stuff in graveyard. Then we run 2 copies of Druid's Worm. Druid's Worm is insane. It's a bestial monster. These are arguably the best cards in the game. Completely changed the format. So naturally we play 3 Magnamood. Next we play 1 copy of Kelbeck, 1 copy of Agito, and 1 copy of Keldo. We play one of all 3 of these because they're just not very good. Outside of Tearlaments, these don't do much. You don't really want to draw them. You want to search them when you need them. So you just play 1 of each. And then you play 3 copies of Medora, because Medora is the best version. It's the best Shizu card. For this build, at least. Some people may argue that Keldo is, because Keldo can search Medora, but you have so much ways to search this card in this deck. I think that playing 3 of it is the better way to go. And we'll talk about it a little bit later why. Then we play 3 copies of Camellia. This card is insane. One important attribute about it is the fact that it is a level 4 tuner monster, which means the level 6 bestial monsters can pair with these to make your level 10 synchros. It's extremely insane. 3 effects, all of them are broken. Your opponent will read this card twice every time, and they still won't believe it does everything that it does. It's insane. Then you run 1 copy of Awakening Forests. This card lets you trigger the Shizu cards that you don't really want to draw, and it also lets you put a disruption in the graveyard if you need to. If you only open Camellia and you want to get a full combo off, you can then send Mole Cricket or vice versa. That'll let you reborn the other, then you can just do your combo. This card's really good. 3 copy of Flourishing Hills. You play 3 of this and 1 of the Awakening Forest, because you can just simply search the Awakening Forest off of Flourishing Hills. So you play 3 of it. It's your searcher. It searches all of your Vernisylph cards. And then Misting Seedling is the best card because it searches all of your Vernisylph monsters, but it can also search all of your Shizu cards. This is the card that ties everything together. It is insanely broken. So you play 3 of it. Stinkbug is great. Stinkbug's the reason that your opponent can't just attack over your board with small monsters. Then you run Sunflower. Sunflower is the card that gives you your double negate or sometimes triple negate. Obviously, you have to play it. It's extremely powerful. 3 copies of Mole Cricket. Mole Cricket is probably the best card in this deck. The fact that it can summon from deck is just unfair. Pretty much any card that can summon from deck should be banned. But, again, multiple effects. One of them is even better when you read it twice. This card's insane. Then you play the 1 Called by the Grave because that's the best spell card in the game. 3 copies of NATURIA Blessing. You're playing this primarily for the Monster Reborn. It's rare that you're going to quick synchro, but it is possible because the synchro does not require you to go into anything special. You just have to use at least 1 NATURIA monster. So you can flip this and special summon Trishula during your opponent's turn using a Mole Cricket and an Shizu monster with Camellia. Very insane play. No one ever sees it coming. And then you run 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Impermanence is the best hand trap. Simple. It is an insane card. It somewhat clashes with the bestial monsters, but just use it first. Impermanence is insane. Then you play 3 copies of Sacred Tree. Sacred Tree is really good for a couple reasons, especially at 3. See, we play the 3 Medora and a bunch of Vernisylph monsters, so our goal is to get to Gravekeeper's Trap as soon as possible. When you get the Gravekeeper's Trap, you can constantly trigger your Sacred Trees just when you draw them, so they stop becoming bricks and become search any Naturia in your deck. So 3 of this is not an issue. It does increase your odds of randomly milling in off of Kelbeck and Origito. We don't like random chance, because random chance is the opposite of skill, but it's really good when it happens. And then 1 Gravekeeper's Trap, primarily for what we just went over. Gravekeeper's Trap, for some reason, just searches any Earth Fairy, so it can add all of your Vernisylph monsters as well as your Shizu cards. That is extremely powerful, so you have to play it in this deck. Next, let's get into the extra deck. We play 1 copy of Cheng Ying. Card's insane. It's a sync 10, easy to go into. Magnamut searches the Druid's Worm, so you get something to trigger this off of. The Shizu cards can trigger this, which are in combo cards, so this card is amazing. Baron speaks for itself. We explained Trishula during the Spring Blessing segment. Barkion auto wins against trap decks, just play it. Nat Beast auto wins against most decks. You play it at 2 because this is your most important card, and a lot of times you're doing this in combo to trigger Mole Cricket to advance your game state, so you have to play 2 just in case. I think you can make an argument for 3 because Unicorn in the format. Next is Zeus. Never summoned Zeus. It's good though if you summon it. Hadn't come up yet. Utopia of the Lightning comes up a lot. This helps you out the tower's base monsters. It's extremely strong. Clears Avermax without triggering its effect. Card's insane. Prime's the best card to put over Utopia because when you do want to go into Zeus, Prime can beat over Bestial monsters. That extra 10 attack points is important. Utopia because you have to play in Utopia for the rest of these. Baguska is probably the best rank 4 in this format, considering Floowandereeze is such a problem, and it just auto wins that matchup. Abyss Dweller is the same thing but for Tearlaments. Underworld Goddess, you could probably switch this out for Access Code Talker if you wanted to. I mean, it's a really good card, but I don't think you need to take it out. It does a lot, and you put a lot of monsters on board. Asa just summons an earth monster from your opponent's graveyard. It's neat to just take their Fenrir and use it. Very strong. And Elf we went over in our combo video. Basically, the importance of Elf is that your Sunflower is a level 2. Your Sunflower is also not a once per turn negate. It gives you protection on both Nat Beast and on your Sunflower. So when you have targeting protection on Nat Beast, double monster negate, infinite spell negates, and a Stinkbug to skip your opponent's battle phase, it's not too easy to beat you. It's really good. And that is it for this deck profile. If you did like any of this content, leave a like, leave a comment below if you want to see something similar or something next, and subscribe. I'm uploading content pretty frequently. I do a lot of things like this. I love deck building, and I love combo building even more. It's one of those things that I'm really good at. So if there is a deck that you think has a lot of potential and you want to see if someone can help break it, then comment it below. I'll try it out and see what I can do. Alright, thanks for watching.